Today we're going to be predicting the winner of the Qatar 2022 World Cup. We're going to be going over the semi-finals 1 and 2 and also who we think is going to make it into the final and take home that trophy. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe as it really does help the channel out. With that being said, let's jump into it.
So in today's video, we're going to be predicting the results of the two semi-finals and the final of the World Cup. The semi-finalists and finalists are based on our group stage predictions. If you guys want to see that video, then click up here in the top right corner to find out who we've got coming out of each group. And then based on our round of 16 and quarter-final predictions, we have assembled the 4 semi-finalist teams, and then we're going to choose a winner from each of these games and then ultimately predict who is going to win the Qatar 2022 World Cup.
So taking a look at the first semi-final here, we predict it to be Argentina versus Brazil, with Brazil ending up winning this fixture against them.
Yeah, this should be an absolutely blockbuster semi-final. Two favourites of the tournament in Argentina and Brazil, both with fairly strong squads coming into this tournament. I would say Brazil is slightly more of a favourite over Argentina. Obviously, everyone's very keen on Argentina because it's most likely going to be Messi's last World Cup, and I'm sure he's going to be very good for them. But I really like this Brazil squad. I do think they're probably the favourite to win the World Cup right now, and with some great attacking players such as Vinicius and Neymar up there as well, two players that have been in absolutely superb form over the last season or so for their respective clubs. I think they could take Brazil to the World Cup final in this game. I would also say Brazil's defence is a lot more sounder than Argentina's, as Romero's as centre-back for Argentina, he is quite injury prone, so if he does pick up an injury throughout the World Cup, they are going to be left with a couple of holes in defence, whether that's Martinez from Manchester United having to play centre-back, or even Otamendi as well. We'll have to see how they fare, but I just think Brazil's squad is a little bit deeper, their defensive midfield is a bit stronger, and of course with those two attackers we touched on with Vinicius and Neymar, I'm sure they can provide the goals for Brazil in this one and take them to the World Cup final. So now on the other side of the bracket, we have got England and Portugal as the two other semi-finalists, two teams that have fairly underrated squads in the World Cup, but we think could go quite far, and we do have Portugal winning this game.
So as we all know, England is a very popular nation and also a very popular favourite to go on pretty far in this World Cup, as we have predicted here. Their team hasn't been the best recently though in some of the friendlies and some of the qualifying matches too that they've played. But as we know, their team has got some of the best players in the world, and the majority of them coming from the Premier League, only apart from one in Jude Bellingham from the Bundesliga. They've got very solid defense, great attack, very attacking midfielders, and all three goalkeepers that they've selected, obviously, as we know, all three starting keepers in the Premier League, which shows all their strength. And honestly, I'd be happy to have any of those three keepers in goals, because pretty much anyone you have is just going to be as good as the next one that they have as well. Yeah, as we've said, they're a very attacking side, got good defense, very attacking midfielders and forwards. So now let's sort of assess Portugal's team and also why we think they're going to alpha England and end up winning the second semi-final and take themselves to the final.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Portugal are a massive dark horse of this tournament. Probably England as well. They do have quite a wide following, so I can see why a lot of people are preferring England to get to the latter stages. But personally, I'm a massive fan of this Portugal side. I think it's an incredibly underrated team. I was just looking at a predicted starting 11 for Portugal earlier, and I'm a massive fan of their starting side. I think it's a very strong team with players that are in great form, whether that's Rafael Leao for AC, he's been superb this season. Ronaldo, of course, is amazing at his best. Whether it's Bernardo Silva as well from Manchester City, he's been superb. Bruno Fernandes on his day can be good. Ruben Diaz, a very solid centre-back. Pepe alongside him as well brings the experience to that side. João Cancelo and potentially Nuno Mendes or Guerrero as the two fullbacks are very solid players as well. And their goalkeepers, they've got great choice in Patricio, Jose Sá and Diogo Costa, three absolutely world-class goalkeepers. So with this side all put together, I do think they could go quite far in this tournament, and I've got them beating England in this one, as I think Portugal are quite underrated and can potentially step up in the bigger moments compared to that England side, and potentially see Portugal go to the World Cup final in Qatar 2022.
So now taking a look at the World Cup final fixture, obviously it's Brazil and Portugal that we've predicted it to be in that final, and we do also predict that Portugal are going to take the final over Brazil. Obviously, Brazil being the favourite to win this World Cup, we do think that Portugal can outdo them and take away that trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. Another massive prediction from us. Portugal, as we've touched on, a big dark horse of the tournament. Brazil, as Ben said, are going to be massive favourites coming into this game. But we've got Portugal for an upset win in this one, as at the end of the day, in one game, there can be a big upset, and especially in a World Cup final, anything can happen. So on anyone's day, they could get up and put a big performance in, and we expect that from Portugal. This side has not been proven so far. No one's really rating them at the moment. So if they can make it to the final, we do expect them to challenge some of the best sides in the tournament. As we previously discussed with Brazil, their team is very, very strong and arguably the best team coming into the World Cup. But after looking at Portugal's side, quite an underrated team with lots of players on form. We've seen them gel very well in international tournaments in the past, as they did prove they were an underdog in the Euro 2016 tournament, were able to win that final over France. So if they can find that chemistry once more, we expect them to be able to beat Brazil in a big upset in the World Cup final and potentially win this one at 2-1 as my score prediction.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video today where we predicted the semi-finals and the finals winner for the Qatar 2022 World Cup. Don't forget to head downstairs, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in our next one.